Hi, this is a quick project update on the Summit to Sea project. I'm Sian Stacey, I'm the project officer, and this is just a short video to give you a bit of a summary of what the project's been up to over the last few months and what you can expect over the summer. Just before we get going, I thought I'd just share the map of the area that we're focusing on. So the project considers the Dyfi in the north and the Rheidol in the south of Aberystwyth as the natural sort of boundaries for the project area. And then from the peaks of the Pumlummon Massif out into the seas of Cardigan Bay. So this is broadly speaking the geographical area that we're focusing on co-designing. So just to recap quickly on where we're at in the co-design process. Some of you will know that we've been doing a lot of setting up and framing and exploring with a wide range of people, which I'll come on to in a moment, over the last year or so. We're now very much in the ideas generation stage, which is a really exciting stage where we get to reflect on some of the ideas we've heard so far, invite people to submit more ideas and start to shape those up into something which has really got strategic impact at a landscape scale for nature and people. So in terms of who we've spoken to so far, so we've held 3 online workshops over the last year. These have been an opportunity to explore a vision where nature and people thrive in this part of Wales. And it's through these workshops and the conversations that we've been able to design the vision and the themes that I'll talk about in a moment. We've also been developing a liaison group, so this is includes representations from a range of organisations and communities in the area, for example local county councillors, Penllyn ar Sarnau SAC, the Dyfi Biosphere, Cambrian Mountains Initiative, farming groups and many more. The liaison group meetings are all about looking at making sure the project is working properly, is talking to the right people, and helping us to identify if there are any gaps, so people that we might not have heard from yet, and starting to discuss future governance, so how the project will look and work in the future and who might be involved in it. We've held a number of talks to a wide range of groups, both locally and further afield. These have been an opportunity to share the learning of the project and inviting people to take part in it. We've also launched our Community Facilitators programme with 18 people involved in this, but we're always welcoming more people to become community facilitators. We've recorded a special video about these roles, which you can view on our website, but essentially these roles help bring more voices to the conversations, inviting people from a wide range of communities, geographical or interest-based, to help in designing the project. I'm going to introduce you to some of the project team in a moment, but we've also been holding drop-in sessions throughout the summer across the area, and you can check out our website for the next dates and locations of these sessions. So all of these conversations and workshops have culminated in this emerging vision. So a nature-rich and connected ecosystem from land to sea, which will deliver benefits to wildlife and people today and for future generations, which celebrates the local place and cultures. We've been testing out this vision with people throughout the drop-in sessions, and it's been receiving fairly positive feedback, which is great. I'm now just going to spend a little moment just chatting through who is involved in the project in these various groups. So to start with, right at the core of everything is the project team, and this year, in our second year of the project, we've got an expanded project team made up of a wide range of people based in the area who have expertise in different fields, from local ecologists, foresters, farmers. We've got lots of people who are going to be supporting the shaping of the ideas that we hear through various individuals, through groups and organisations in the area. So they're going to be really busy over the next few months shaping these ideas and developing something strategic out of that. This team is being led by Steve Everson in the top left there. We've also got Heilwen Davis of Llais Cymru in the bottom right, based in Derwenlas. She's supporting us with our communications. And then we've got Gwenna Edwards in the top right, who is our co-design facilitator and helps to make things like this look really good. We've got the liaison group, which I mentioned earlier. So they're kind of critical friends to the project, and they're making sure that we have a good representation of people involved in the development and the design of things as we go along. We've got quite a wide range of organisations and individuals at the moment, but if you feel like your organisation or community isn't represented, please do get in touch, because we're always trying to make sure that we do have good representation in that group. And then for the wider community, who are of course at the heart of this project, we want to make sure that it's really easy and accessible for people to be involved in the project, which is why we've been launching the Community Facilitators Programme, why we're holding drop-in sessions at different times in different locations, to try and make it as easy as possible for people to find out what's going on and to share their thoughts and ideas and feedback. And finally, we have the project partners. So RSPB Cymru are the project hosts for this phase of the project. So they deal with all the management issues, the finance issues. They make sure that any reporting to our funders, which is Endangered Landscapes Programme, is given in on time, and any kind of issues like that. And then we have another 5 organisations who are just making sure that they're overseeing the delivery of the co-design process, really. Here's a quick glance at our timeline. So we've been discussing over the summer a decision-making process with the liaison group, so who gets to make decisions and why, in terms of the ideas. And then we've also been developing a criteria to make it easier for people to submit, share and feedback on ideas that are coming through. And this criteria reflects the vision and the core themes that have come out of the co-design process to date. When we come into September, we'll have some initial ideas which will be presented to the liaison group. These will have been developed by the project team over the summer. And then we've got a few other meetings lined up, because we know that it takes time to kind of reflect and to feedback on ideas as they go. So we get to a point where just at the start of next year, we should have a pretty good idea of a strategic plan for particular ideas that are going to help nature thrive in the area. And that gives us a few months before the end of our funding in May to draw this into probably an application form for funding. But that all depends on the next few months and what comes out of this process. Which brings us to the criteria. So these criteria have been developed based on the vision and the kind of 4 main themes initially that were co-designed by people in the area. The co-design group, the project team and the liaison group have been involved in developing these criteria. So having a set of criteria helps us and the project team and the liaison group to know what ideas would fit this type of project. The criteria helps us to make decisions on what ideas to develop or which wouldn't be appropriate. To make it as simple as possible, we've broken the criteria into 3 main areas. So the first one, helping nature thrive and have impact at scale. This is fundamentally what the project is all about. So what type of ideas can help achieve this? Well, we've been hearing that ideas should ideally work across different landowners. Ideas should help to improve connectivity or a diversity of health of habitats. And perhaps an idea might introduce or develop processes which mimic nature. The second theme is around how the economy can be supporting nature. We know that a large proportion of the population here rely on the natural resources for their income, or a large amount of it, in some way, be they farmers, foresters, fishers, or tourism providers. So we want to work with these economies to help do even more to support nature and ensure that these economies are resilient in the long term through a resilient land and sea. And then thirdly, people thriving alongside nature. People are enthusiastic about reconnecting with nature, but also reconnecting people with how the land and sea in the area have been used for generations. We want to make sure people are involved in delivering these ideas and celebrate the rich local history and culture associated with land and sea use and nature in this area. Now, this all sounds quite overwhelming, but we're really keen that people can still input their idea, whether it's as fully formed or not, into this process, because that's why we've got the shaping group and kind of wider project team to help shape those ideas and bring them together. So don't feel like you have to have a really fully formed idea. Anything will be great to go into the pot. So we've just produced this little diagram to help people work out what the process is and where ideas are discussed and where ideas are decided if they should be taken forward. What we've tried to make sure is that we've got a bit of a loop back, so if ideas don't meet a minimum score, that the idea could either be combined or incorporated with another idea for greater impact, or go back to the person that suggested the idea and ask them to have a look again at the themes and the criteria so that it can be resubmitted into the pot. And just to finish with a little bit of a snippet of other work that's going on. So some of the work that we're doing this year will be delivered in joint partnership with the Cambria Mountains Initiative as part of our A Shared Vision for Our Land and Sea project. And that involves a number of local consultants going out and chatting one-to-one with people whose income is reliant on the natural resources. So that could be farming, it could be fishing, forestry, it could be a mountain bike centre, a surf school, a whole range of other kind of tourism businesses in the area. So they're having conversations about what people are doing already, how their income is reliant on the natural resources, what they're doing already for nature, if they'd like to do more, what the barriers are to them doing more, so that we can incorporate that into the ideas that are being shared with us. The project is also collaborating with Aber Food Surplus and Alice Briggs and Zoe Quick on a project called the Verges of the Rheidol project, which has received funding from the Arts Council of Wales through their Connect and Flourish programme. And that's going to be working with communities along the River Rheidol and exploring kind of land use through creative workshops and events. So that's a really exciting part of work that's going on. And then we've also just been informed of the ELP Artists in Residence, which will begin working with the project over the summer. And more news on that will follow. So the question on your mind, how can I get involved? So you can attend any of the community drop-in sessions across the area. We'll be announcing the next sessions for August in the next couple of weeks. They're probably going to be at the end of August. And then we'll also hold sessions in September. Of course, these are all subject to COVID regulations and that, so we will have to see how that pans out. You could become a community facilitator and hold your own conversations. We've got a whole package of resources that might help you kind of explore that idea or help you kind of start off on that on our website. You could attend some specific meetings to develop ideas. So once we have an idea of the types of projects that are being put forward, we'll be doing a call out for specific things dependent on what those ideas are. And then we could host group specific workshops with you. So for example, you might be a community group or a cafe, or you might have a range of people in your area who are interested in the project and want to learn more and want to contribute. And we can have a chat to you then about running a workshop with you to get your input into the project. So well done for making it to the end of this project update. Thank you for listening, and thank you to everybody who's been taking part in the project to date. And thank you if you're thinking about taking part in the project. You can get in touch with me on that email address, sian.stacey@summit2c.wales, or you can follow us on Instagram @O'r Mynydd I'r Môr, or on Facebook O'r Mynydd I'r Môr Summit to Sea. We're looking forward to hearing from you.